Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Oxford United preview show. It's Ian and Tom again, and this week we are covering Ipswich Town versus Oxford United. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of that, Ian, tell me about what happened midweek to Oxford United in the Papa John's World Championships.
Oh, God, Thomas. We lost. We blew it. We blew it!
Yeah, season over, defining loss, but let's move on from there. Ian, what can you tell me about Oxford United coming into this game?
Son of a bitch, I'm so fucking... Oh, hi, sorry. So after blowing a chance to go to Wembley again, Oxford move on to Ipswich Town this weekend in a game which I'm expecting to be pretty tight. I don't expect it to be many goals in the game, and that's mainly because Ipswich don't concede a lot of goals, and they generally aren't that attractive of a side to play or to watch. So they'll make it quite a Sturgis encounter. But other than that as well, I think obviously we want to see how Oxford bounce back, because I think there are some people very disappointed with the way they played in that Papa John's World Championship. And I think Robinson especially was extremely pissed off at the end of that game, as if he felt that the players had let him down. And I know you could talk about team selection, but that's just the way it came across in that one. So I'm expecting Oxford to be a lot better in this one, but I don't think they're going to charge out of the gate and really press and really harry Ipswich, which is what they tried to do when the sides met earlier on in the season. I think this will be a lot more of a cagey game, and I think it'll be opportunity like Oxford will just try and get themselves into the game, not concede an early goal, and then I think they'll be confident that they will create enough chances to win a tight game over the 90 minutes. We have seen some sloppiness creep into their play in the game. I mean, particularly evident against Tranmere, but in the game against Wigan, the game against Bristol Rovers, and obviously the game against Doncaster, there was certainly some sloppy signs from the defence. Which the whole team really just some sloppy. It seems to take us a while to get going in matches, and I really hope that's not going to be a common theme in games as we go forward. But I am still confident of Oxford doing well in this game, and a lot of that's down to, as I said, Ipswich not being in particularly great form and having players out. And the style of play that Lambert likes to play. I think the majority of their key players have been defenders this year, and that kind of shows you why it's kind of tailed off for them after having a roaring start. But I will just give you what I think Oxford's team sheet is going to be, which has become a running feature, which I rather enjoy. So I think they will start with Jack Stevens in goal. Surprise, surprise. Anthony Ford will probably be playing right back. Long isn't far away, but Ford is there for now. Ruffles at left back, Atkinson and Moore centre back, Goran obviously in front, so no real changes there. Now into midfield. I really hope we do not see Liam Kelly playing. Please do not play Liam Kelly.
No, Ian, we love Liam Kelly. We love Liam Kelly.
I'm going to go a little bit different with this prediction with what I want to happen this week. So I want to see, obviously, Cameron Brannigan, I want to see playing in midfield, and I want to see him in midfield with James Henry. Now, James Henry might not be fit enough to play the full 90, but I want to see James Henry in there. If it wasn't Henry, I'd like to see Sykes, but I think we need to see that sort of combination, Brannigan and one of those other two in there. Shadipo on the left. I want to see Elliot Lee on the right, and I want to see Matty Taylor up front. Taylor is on a bit of a barren run. He needs a goal. I think that's like 5, maybe 6 games without a goal for him. Not through the lack of effort, just it's not running for him. And let's not talk about how many chances he missed in the Papa John's World Championship. But obviously, again, with that side, we do have options from the bench. We do have Barker. We do have Winnell. We do have players. Maybe he'll even play Dan Hadji. Maybe he'll play Sykes. So we do have options that can come on and influence this game. And that isn't really much more to say about this one. I will throw it over to Thomas to give an Ipswich perspective on things. But I do think Oxford will win, and I think it will be the same scoreline of what we won last year at Portman Road. 1-0 to Oxford.
Yep, so Ipswich Town, the Blues of the Tractor Boys, they are having yet another indifferent to bad end to a season. They currently sit 11th on 40 points. Crewe just behind them on 40 points. Plymouth just in front on 41, and MK Dons on 38. Looking at the table, they're in touch, they're doing well, but this is a club that is falling apart. 2 losses, 2 draws, and a win in their recent form. They still have more wins than losses this season, but speak to the fans and it doesn't sound like they do. Paul Lambert's been there since the beginning of about the beginning of the 2018-2019 season.
I thought you were going to say beginning of time.
Feels that way to most of their fans. They were relegated in his first season in charge, and Ipswich fans famously stood up and applauded their team as they were relegated from the championship, showing their support. But it is just getting worse and worse for this club. Now, I'm not going to do too much in-depth analysis because, well, I'll explain that in a minute, but they do play a 4-3-3. As far as I can tell, they have no star player, and there's a lot of reasons for that. They brought in quite a few loan signings. Tony Parrott of the Spurs joined on the 1st of February. It's too early to know if it'll have an effect, but 3 matches, no goals, and what I believe the fans are describing as a -12 on work rate. Yep, I am reading that number correctly. Josh Harris.
Is it Troy Parrott?
Yes, Troy. Troy the boy.
Troy the boy.
Josh Harrop's come on loan from Preston North End and has offered 0. And Luke Thomas joined from Barnsley in January and apparently looks like garbage. Yep, no, I'm reading my notes correctly. There's nothing positive coming out of this club anyway.
Can I interject a couple of things just quickly?
Yeah.
Sorry. Last time they did play, I thought Dazelle was quite a good player for them. Freddie Sears is obviously a guy who's got a lot of experience, played in the Premier League. But the biggest thing for them is obviously Jackson hasn't really hit the ground running with form, and Norwood, I think, has been injured for a lot of the season. He's only just coming back to form as well. You would expect Norwood to be their main goal scorer, and I think they have struggled without him in the side.
Yes. They don't have a striker with more than something like 2 goals this season. Gwion Edwards has 5 goals and also 3 assists, which also makes him the highest assister in the team and highest goal scorer. Teddy Bishop, the center midfielder, is their second highest goal scorer right now. That's not the position you're looking for your highest goal scorer to come from. This team doesn't have a goal scorer, right? That's patently obvious, which is pretty bad for a team. They also don't seem to have any belief, and they don't seem to have a spine in the team anymore. They look bereft of ideas. Nobody in their team even comes top 20 in goals or assists. It's been 19 years since they were in the Premiership, but their fans definitely still view them as a Premier League club. And this isn't me passing judgment on that, but they probably need to set their sights slightly lower. And honestly, their best highlight of the year is probably watching a referee square up to Judge over what I honestly can't make it out, but I believe he tells Judge dived, and Judge said, no, I didn't, and he squared up to him in response to it. I can't figure out what happened there. I mean, Ipswich fans, let me know, but that's the craziest clip I've ever seen. And if that guy gets to referee again, and he can't, unless Judge said something about his mother or his sister, something terrible, I am confused how that guy's allowed to referee, and I could see how Ipswich fans are pretty unhappy about the situation. But their most recent match was a 0-0 draw with Northampton. A 0-0 draw with Northampton. I don't know what's going on at this club. Analyzing them from the point of they play a 4-3-3. There's no point in doing that because no one is playing to their 4. Their best player, as far as I can tell, or their most effective player statistically, Gwion Edwards, has been injured a couple times this season. I can't tell if he's injured right now or if they've just phased him out of the team for a couple games. But the whole club from top to bottom, from management to manager to players to loanees, no one knows what's going on. It looks like there's 15 different pages of the book that people are on. And I want to sit here and act like I know about this club, but I don't, right? I spent a couple hours researching them. I've come in, I've watched highlights, and the yearly joke is, Ipswich, they start well and they do badly. Yeah, but it looks worse because the fans and the legends of the club and everyone is turning on it right now. And I don't actually necessarily think they'll lose because they're a worse team. I think they're quite a good team. I think they'll lose because they think they're going to lose. They don't strike me as a team that have any self-belief right now. And they strike me as the sort of team that, Oxford could do its normal thing of offering nothing for half an hour, but controlling the game. And you're like, well, Oxford should win because, and then, they get counterattacked and it's 1-0 to the other team and then it's 2-0 to the other team and that's match. I don't see that happening because I can't see Ipswich scoring those goals.
No, I do agree with you. And again, that was very similar to last year where it just seemed like if they hadn't taken the lead after 20 minutes and you had more of an issue with the fans getting on their back, the team just seemed scared. They seemed like they were scared to lose rather than wanting to go out to win, which is a massive problem. And, we're not here to kind of take the mickey out of Ipswich or shit on them. If there are any fans out there, let us know, because it seems just a a really horrible place for everybody at the moment. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really enjoying watching them, managing them, playing for them, or anything.
Yeah, it does seem like, especially the legends of the club have been coming out, and there's a lot of question over the senior management, like the owners and stuff. But there's a lot of question over like how willing everybody who's around the club is to pitch in, and how it feels like they're not being listened to, or it strikes me as a club that's forgotten who they are as well. Like, you know, we talk about this all the time off camera, but how much like we like it when our teams back old players, even if they're 40, but they played for the club for so long. They're part of the furniture. They've given their lives to the club, and it feels like Ipswich management and stuff have turned on them. And I don't do this because, you know, we're making an effort not to call for managers' heads. But I think Paul Lambert's on his way out, unless something magical happens.
Just a baffling decision to extend his contract last season. And if you look back at it, they hounded
5-year extension.
Yeah, you're right. You're crazy. And I'm sure Ipswich fans regret doing this, but they hounded Mick McCarthy and wanted him out of the club. And they've just fallen like a stone since then. You can see what a great job he did of papering up over all the crap.
He said it so much. He's like, what do you want from me? Well, we want better performances. 0-0 in the Championship is a decent performance.
Yeah, it's better than 0-0 in League One against Northampton. That's
exactly. But Ian, enough, right? We talked about the bad things about Ipswich. Ipswich fans, please let us know. But I am told that some fanulars of the Very Best Spins have sent their predictions in, Ian.
Absolutely. It's the best time of the video, folks. It's your fans' voice. And we've got 6 of the best to come through this week. So a bumper crop. You don't want to hear what me and Tom think. Let's listen to these guys. We lead off with our opening batsman, as always, friend of the channel, Matthew Bowden.
Hey, Very Biased Opinions. Matt Bowden here. So last week, apparently I was intoxicated. Not true. If I was intoxicated, I'd wear my cap this way round and speak with a funny voice instead of wearing my cap this way round. Anyway, this week prediction, Ipswich, tough game, 1-0 to the Ox.
Anybody who wears a backwards cap is a top bloke, in my opinion, and I fully endorse what he just said.
Well, by his logic, he only does it when he's hammered drunk, so you must be absolutely smashed, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm off my face. I predicted an Oxford win.
Hey, don't get me started. I told you why you shouldn't. Yeah, obviously, thank you, Matthew. Great to have your video 1/3 week in a row. Oxford Down's YouTube channel. Matthew runs that channel. Go check it out.
Check it out.
Great channel if you like your cricket. Go check out that. But fan number 2, we have the Jonathan Creed sending in. He's a first-time videoer, sender. I don't know what you call it. But let's hear from Jonathan.
Hello, Very Unbiased Opinions. Jordan, Las Vegas here. Here's my prediction for the Ipswich-Oxford game this Saturday. I think it's going to be 2-2. And also, I just want to ask, how tall is your nan? Thank you.
I don't know how to take the end of that video.
He's just trolling me now. He's just trolling me. Thank you for the video, but move on.
But you got to answer the question.
No, we've done this before, Ian. We've done this before. Move on to the next question.
How tall is your nan?
-6 feet.
Okay. Well, mine, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but when she was alive, she was 7'2". Eyes are blue.
5.
Oh, right. We've had 2. We've had a win. We've had a draw. I wonder what pessimistic brother Alan, birthday boy, pessimistic brother Alan, is going to say.
Hello, VBO. I'm recording this just after watching the really poor Oxford defeat against Tranmere in the Papa John's. If we play like we did tonight, we've got no chance this weekend. And as we've been a bit lucky in some of the matches we played recently, I'm going to go for Oxford United 1, Ipswich 2. Sorry.
On your birthday? On your birthday, pessimist? You know what? No, you know what? The blood pressure, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Everyone stay calm. And move on to the next ballot.
I mean, happy birthday, and everybody write happy birthday down in the comments to him.
Please. We do love having Robert Allen on the channel.
Everybody else, when Papa John's trophy, everybody else was like, nah, forget about it. He's going to remember this. He's going to remember it for years to come. He's going to keep bringing it up in future videos. But Anyway, we do thank him for his comments, and we move on to the other missing Alan brother. We've heard from the pessimistic. I'm the optimistic. Let's see what middle brother Andrew Allen has to say.
Hello VBO, Andy here, the other Alan brother, who's a bit more optimistic. Ipswich away is going to be a tough one. However, I think we'll just do it and get a 1-0 victory. Just. Loving the channel, guys. Keep up the good work.
This guy's more my sauce. He speaks the truth. He predicted an Oxford win, right? I wasn't paying attention. I'm hammered drunk right now.
He did, and thank you, Alan family out there in Belgium. Last week's contribution was wonderful as well, and this week was just as good. He missed a week last week, but we move on to video number 5. Matthew Lumby, our Tangerine fan, our Blackpool fan. Let's see what Matthew has to say.
Alright, I'm sorry for the awful camera quality, but I'm going to give my verdicts on this game. Oxford United 2, Ipswich Town 0. Ipswich are terrible, Lambert's an awful manager, and Oxford are in form, so I think you'll do it. And I think you'll make the playoffs by the end of the season. Nice one. Up the...
This man understands. He understands that football isn't statistics. It's not numbers. It's not hard work. It's feelings, and my feelings tell me that they're bad, so up the pool.
Do you have a feeling in your water?
I don't want to talk about what feelings I have right now.
And finally, last but by no means least, we come to Matt from GRANDSTAND Bettors. Let's see what the Sex Panther of the betting world has to say.
GRANDSTAND Bettors here, giving you our Oxford United Ipswich Town prediction. In the 1990s, Ipswich Town dominated the series, hands down. But we don't live in the 1990s anymore, and Oxford is just outside the playoffs in the standings. Look for Oxford to win 3-1 and move into the playoffs.
Did you know that 60% of the time Matt Uranka is right 100% of the time?
I did. That was what was implied at the start. But yes, thank you, Matt. Oh, God, I wish I was back in the 90s when I could actually run
back
5 meters
when Ipswich were great. A Premier League side, golden times at Portman Road, crowds heaving.
Back when I could walk up a flight of stairs without sweating.
Yeah, we really do have to take you to a doctor soon, though. That heart attack thing's real.
And that is everything. Thank you very much to everybody who sent their videos in. Remember, if you missed it and you didn't send a video in, shame on you. You'll never be able to do it again. No, that's not right. You'll be able to do it next week. We are live again. Against whoever they're playing, but you will have an opportunity to send your video in. Send it into verybiasedopinions@gmail.com or to Facebook at verybiasedopinions on Messenger. It can't be any simple, and you could be part of the channel.
You could. And before we go, remember, tomorrow we are live streaming from 2:45 at 7:45. Well, around then, our review of the match will come out at 7:45 on Sunday. Champions League will come out. And on Monday, we may have a very special announcement on the channel. So we love you all dearly, and we hope to see you tomorrow.
Right, now I'm just about wrapping up. Tom's done all the thanks, so that just leaves me to say, see you tomorrow, and come on, you yellows.